0. The meeting is being recorded. John, for the invocation.
Mighty merciful Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight. Thank you for the day. Thank you for your abundant blessings. We pray as we conduct the affairs of the fire district, Lord, that you would give us wisdom and discernment, patience with each other. Remind us to be quick to listen and slow to speak. We ask a blessing on our firefighters today, Lord, and their families. And bless and protect the firefighters who are out on the line throughout Oregon, California. Keep them safe, Lord. We pray for better weather conditions, Lord, and maybe some rain that you could bless us with. We thank you for your love, your mercy, your amazing grace. In Jesus' name, amen.
All right, flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Director's Day.
Here.
Director Miller.
Here.
Director Oliver.
Here.
Director McAdoo.
Here.
And Silva is present. It looks like Chief made it on.
Yeah, I think I got it figured out here.
Awesome.
Way to go.
All right, Chief, do you have any changes to the agenda as written?
No changes.
Directors, do you have any changes to the agenda as written?
I have one. I'd like to read an appreciation email from one of our residents.
So do you want that? You're not taking an action on it. So why don't we give under committee staff reports? Why don't we put a C there and have Oliver give report?
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Chief,
Yeah,
have you brought it to any of the other board members' attention about the plumbing in the main firehouse?
no.
You mind if I speak on that firsthand information?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay, if you could put that in there somewhere.
Okay, under D as in Delta, Director Miller,
I didn't bring a pen, so
plumbing.
just tell me when.
Colin, you got another pen?
Okay, directors. None, then we shall just,
I might add that we used to have a line in here for correspondence.
Oh, okay.
so yeah, we'll definitely have to add that back in.
Anyhow,
I'm gonna make a note, add correspondence. And I think the email was directed towards you.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Me
so,
too, yeah.
yeah, it still would be.
appreciation to the fire department.
Okay, so no other changes. I'm going to move to approval of the meeting. Well, we do by consensus, we adopt them. So
looks okay to me, and I signed them.
okay. Directors, do you feel that the meeting minutes?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. All right, business items. B1, election of board officers. So it's going to be decided who's going to be president, vice president, and treasurer.
Flip coin.
I'd like to speak my piece since I didn't really say anything at the last meeting. But in my opinion, since we just started this fire department back up July 1st, I really don't think we should make it to moving our right now and the vice president or treasurer or whoever. I think we should leave it alone for at least 6 months and let us.
We have to
No.
do something about vice president because Thorson was vice president. We took Resco's spot.
Okay. But I think Matthew should continue to run these meetings for at least another 6 months until and let things settle in and not make any big changes on our end while we get this fire department off the ground. Maybe revisit this in 6 months and make a change. But if we do need a vice president, then that's my opinion.
I made my statements last month, so and my opinion was that we start a new fire department and have fresh leadership. That's where I was coming from. New fire department.
Well, I'm not any leader than more than you. We all only have equal power. The only thing I do is coordinate the agenda. I don't have any power. I want to make it very specific. I have no dog in the fight other than I am committed to help Estacada Fire in any way I can. It could be fueling the fire rigs out there. I'm happy to continue it for 6 months, or you guys decide. I mean, but I want to make sure that nobody gets the impression, because at this table, I actually have no more power than each and every one of you with a vote. So
I expressed it in the last meeting. I kind of agree with Ken. We've gone through a lot of changes. Run a good meeting. I wouldn't certainly be opposed. I think Eller would be a great vice president.
I would be willing to do that if we need to, or Ken, either one. Ken's been here longer than me.
Either way.
If I could, I guess I could make that motion. So,
okay,
Do we have a motion that John needs to finish, or did we table that? Did we settle that one?
No,
we never voted.
Because we didn't do anything.
It was
Okay.
never seconded. and never
We can
went
start a
anywhere.
new motion.
You bet.
Okay,
Yeah.
That went away.
okay, good. All right.
So you were going to make a motion?
so I would make the motion for so that we meet with the president, vice president, director McAdoo, and if you to be secretary treasurer, if you would do that.
I'm okay with that.
I have a motion on the floor. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
I have a motion on the floor by Director Day with a second by Director Oliver. Open for discussion. If none, I'm going to call for the question. Director Day,
Yes.
Director Miller,
Yes.
Director Oliver,
Yes.
Director McAdoo.
Yes.
Okay. All right, and then did everybody get a chance to see the email from Chief O'Connor on the bills to be paid?
Yes.
Yeah. I looked them over and one question, there was a new company there. Hey, I'm sure it's okay, but I had a new company there.
So the Clackamas County Department of Finance, is that Pecan dispatch fees? I can't remember.
Yeah,
I think that's just,
Yeah.
seems like they look like they went up like $300 or so. Been like 6,600 and some, and now they're 6,900. So
I believe the amount of money you get charged depends on how many calls. You pay a base amount and then it's per call. So if there was a rise in calls, it should be reflected by.
I'll look into that because it's been the same for months.
And that might be the
When I was
base
looking at
fee that includes so many calls,
it.
maybe.
Okay, who knows? Yeah. Well, that may be true now that we took over.
Right.
But I don't know. I'll look into it. I'm still got dollar amounts in here that we still need to work with on Clackamas Fire over the contract. So.
Right. Well,
I'm not gonna hold this up. I can't say it. I know it's legit. It just was a name I never heard before.
So three debits.
I know who 3W is.
Yeah.
Is it
and
the
that's-
Gulls
that's-
LLC?
You know, I'm familiar with those.
Gulls, 3W.
It was,
Yeah, Pekin
oh,
Graving.
Reach Locals. Woodland Hills, California, Reach Locals. I've never heard that one before. Any idea what we purchased there? I'm sure it's okay. We signed the check, so.
okay.
It's real quiet. I can't quite hear what he's asking. Was it
So
Reach?
Yeah, Reach Local.
Reach Local, what was that?
Reach Local it's about $300, isn't it?
Yes, I just.
Yeah, that's for the web page.
The webpage.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, thanks, Chief.
Okay,
I do have a question. Hey, Chief, on purchase orders, if it's over $500, isn't there supposed to be 2 signatures?
If it's over $500, then it needs to go to a division chief or higher. So the whoever's requesting it, the company officer would sign it, and then either division chief or myself would sign it from there.
Okay, I was helping Sharon with some of the bills and not all of that's happening. So I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, obviously I haven't been able to be there to look through what we had to go to be paid this week. So.
Yep. Okay.
And I have one more question, Chief. Do you know in the future when we're gonna get a reconciliation of accounts where it shows revenue coming in? You know, that breakdown that we used to have 3 or 4 pages. I know we've been talking about that. Is there any idea when that's coming in so the directors will know how much money we have before tax revenue comes in? You know?
Yeah, I wanted to have that for you this meeting, but obviously I got derailed. So look for that in the next, for the September meeting. The payroll sheet there, you should see it there, something similar of what we sent out and what we moved and how that balanced out. So the bills to be paid should look something similar to that on the next go around, but obviously it didn't work out for this meeting.
Sure, I understand. I assumed you were working on it, so we'll have accounts balances, what's left in the accounts and tax revenue that come in and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's a goal. That was something I wanted to have by now, and obviously just couldn't make it happen for this meeting.
I understand. Thank you, Chief.
Yep.
so I make a motion that we pay the bills as presented in the email.
Second.
Okay, so I've got a motion by Silva with a second by Miller. I have it on the floor, open for discussion. And I'm going to call for the question. Director McAdoo,
Yes,
Director Oliver,
Yes.
Director Miller,
Yes.
Director Day,
Yes.
and Silva is yes. All right. B3 item, Chief, it says TBA to be announced. Is that anything or we just skipping over it? Business item?
No, that was a placeholder. There's
Okay.
there's nothing for the agenda there.
Okay. So any board informational updates or comments? Well, I can do a comment right there. So I was at an event today between Portland Fire and Clackamas Fire, and one of the individuals off the apparatus came up to me and asked me if I was a board director for Estacada, and I go, yep, that's Silva. Anyway, he reported to me that he was a task force leader on the bootleg fire, and your 2 individuals, Chief, that you sent down there did an extraordinary job, Tyler and Christian. And he just wanted to make sure that you knew that they did a fabulous job up and beyond. So I'm just sharing that and recognizing that.
Yeah, I had gotten a call from Chief Brown at Clackamas. This is obviously the task force leader was one of his guys, and just conveying that same message that our guys did not just very well, they exceeded all expectations. So it's real happy to hear that, and our guys are doing awesome.
Awesome. Okay.
Can I add to that real quick?
Yes.
Yesterday, my grandfather is 90 years old, came out to the office and he suffered a severe stroke several months ago when he was getting into a chair and fell, hit the back of his head and was bleeding and couldn't get up. And I had to call 911 and these guys showed up. Tyler was there from this group. But I think there was 8 people there, multiple volunteers. wonderful job. My grandpa couldn't remember even falling, but the care that they gave was above and beyond. So it's really, really great to see that in our town, and much appreciated. Feel pretty confident in the group we have and what they've been able to accomplish so far in these few months. So very appreciative.
That is awesome.
Yep, very nice.
Okay, any other board comment, informational updates? None. Staff reports, committee reports. Chief O'Connor, your chief's report.
Yeah, so you have the chief's report that I put in the board packet, outlines all the successes and the positives that are going on with the district over the last month. And for a district in its infancy, things are going extremely well and very positive. On the difficult side, things like COVID are coming back around. Obviously, that's becoming a bigger problem by the day. The governor's changed their mandate from become vaccinated. You need to be vaccinated by the 30th. There hasn't been any other guidance yet, but that doesn't bode very well for us. We're trying to still gather the names of who is vaccinated and who isn't internally, and what that's going to look like. But at present, it appears that we stand to lose up to 30% of our workforce as a result of not having vaccinations. That includes some career staff, and that's going to be a real problem for us. So I'm not sure how that's going to be dealt with just yet. I don't know what guidance is going to come out of the governor's office, but so far it hasn't been very helpful. I spent some time on the phone with our supervising physician yesterday about this and how we were going to be able to test and make it all work. And nobody really has any good answers yet. It's kind of typical state government of here's what we want, but we'll let you know later how it's going to work. And so that's creating some real problems for us and does not look very good for us down the road.
Well, I think more to come. I think, as we get closer, I would think that we should have a work session to discuss this. I mean, if we've got good people, we shouldn't be losing them. I do know that the Portland Firefighters Association is filing an injunction with a lawyer down in Salem to block her order. So, and therefore it's going to go into the court systems, which will delay it. So I do know that we are right now mounting a process to do an injunction. And so maybe that would buy us some more time for them to figure it out.
Yeah, I think you're right. The bigger districts out there, the Portlands, the Clackamuses, all those, I think we're going to see more out of that. But, this is all new as of today. So it's literally a matter of hours old. But we just continue to get not helpful information instead of things that are going to help us.
So this almost leads into a letter that Director McAdoo consulted me on.
What are you looking for?
No, on the email. So Director McAdoo is writing a letter to all of the representatives and certain people, and I'd like to turn it over to him.
Yeah, I wrote this letter. I only made one copy of it to Representative Christine Johnson, Senator Bill Kennemer. I'm going to forget the name of the senator in the 9th Senate District, which is over by the Scotts Mills area. He's my senator and my representative, and one more senator who is an independent. Christine Drazen got back to me right away and she says, I hope you're doing well. I have this on my list of issues to talk to the governor about when we speak next. I will let you know what I find out. So I just made one copy. If anybody wants to read it or look at it, that's it. And I had that approved by the chief before I sent it out. A couple other things I was looking up today. Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Acts is confirmed that you can have religious exemptions.
Yes, totally.
And a professor in the college in Pennsylvania, he sued the college and he won. If you've already had COVID and you run the test and show that you got the antibodies, you don't have to get the shot. You're protected. That was an interesting legal read that I read today. So,
Well, as we get
but
closer,
that's for the state of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
You'd have to bring out a lawsuit to Oregon and Washington.
so I think as we get closer, Chief, we'll just, you and I will connect and talk about doing a work session or a special meeting so that we can take a stance as on behalf of the governing body of the fire department. And that way we can go forward from there.
I did, take it upon myself to talk with Colton Fire Chief. I'm a member of Colton out there, so I was just talking to him. He's trying to encourage, they're afraid of the same thing. And he's trying to encourage everybody in the meantime to please hang in there. We're here to serve the community. So he's trying to encourage his people to just hang in there till we can work this out.
Okay.
Muddy water.
Yeah, I think it's all new enough that I think we'll see more evolve out of it here. Like I said, we're literally a matter of hours old with this. So more will come here in the next week or two, I'm sure. But I think that's a good idea if we can collaborate a little more, maybe in the next week, especially if I can get back in the office, and we can go from there.
Okay.
When you get the numbers of firefighters that are unvaccinated or unwilling to get vaccinated, it might be a good idea to give it to Director McAdoo so she can put that.
Yeah, we're working on that list now. We're probably halfway there, maybe a little further.
Okay. Thanks, Chief. Directors, any questions on the financial report? No. The next item is Oliver. You've got a report.
I know probably some of you know Jane Reed. She and her husband approached me at Jim Galuzzo's Memorial Service, was asking about defensible space around your house and where they could get education. I passed that info on to the chief and he sent a crew up there. And she wrote an email to me today. It says, Gary and I would like you to relay to the board how grateful we are to have had a visit from the Estacada Fire Department to give us advice on how to make our property safer in the event of a wildfire. The 4 folks who came, whose names I have forgotten, were so helpful. They walked with us around the property and pointed out the kinds of materials we needed to remove for fire safety. We learned a lot about how fire works and what was hazardous, and so appreciated the time they gave us. We've been busy ever since cutting, pruning, yanking, and moving and chipping. So she goes, thank you for the extra effort to make us all safer.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
All right. So next would be Director Miller concerning main station plumbing.
So July 4th, we had an incident. Lashbrook called me. We had to bring in Cascade last minute. If you look on your bill here, Cascade Mechanical Systems, $493.50.
Mhm.
I was talking to Pat, the owner of Cascade Mechanical, and this is where McAdoo and Silva and maybe Oliver, that main line that goes out there is bad. It was scheduled to be replaced, and for some reason it didn't happen. And then the ADA shower and the bathroom remodel happened. Alan, you've had to call them back one other time, haven't you? We haven't gotten that bill yet. Pat was telling me that they ran a camera down it and it's terrible.
I heard that years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna take care of that before they
Yeah.
put that shower in.
Now, it's my understanding that what I was told by Pat was that, well, first of all, Pat was low bid. They got 3 bids, Cascade Mechanical. They never issued a purchase order. And then, Pat said he couldn't get to it for 3 months. Well, then they said, hey, where are you at with this? And I said, well, you never issued a purchase order, so we never got you in a spot. And then the bathroom remodel went forward. Unfortunately, with the ADA shower, that makes the problem even worse because now it can just run out on the floor. which it has been doing. So I just want to let you guys know that something is going to have to be done here.
What was the bid? What?
That was 3 years ago, was my understanding. So I don't know. It was my understanding 3 years ago, it was 10 grand. Right in the back of the bays there, they got to completely saw the concrete, and at that end out by the sidewalk, it's like 5 feet deep. So it's saw the concrete where it comes out of the main station into the bay, and then, you know, dig all that down, bed it all in with new pipe all the way out to the street.
So why don't Chief O'Connor, could we reach out to Cascade Mechanical and 2 other bids and get a bid to get that repaired ASAP to have it ready to approval for the next board meeting?
Yeah, it's just a matter of reaching out to the different companies and getting them to come in and tell us what they want for it.
Ian, I'll text you Pat's direct number from Cascade Mechanical.
Yeah, I believe I have it, but send it to me anyways, just in case.
Okay,
What size line is it?
really only needs to be a 4 inch is all it needs to be.
It's it may be a 4 inch, that's maybe like
Yeah,
a half an
right
inch
now,
now,
it's
you know,
cast iron, that's what it is.
after all these years.
Yeah, and they talked about putting a liner in it, but there's so many Ys and everything, and where you would cut those all in, and that's like putting the Band-Aid
Yeah.
on, you know, whatever.
If
I
you keep
remember that
chasing
now,
it.
that was supposed to be taken care of.
Yeah, I just, you know, like I seen this bill here, 493.50, who knows what the next one, that was an after hours call too, wasn't it? Yeah, so it's gonna be
Another 5.
relatively the same price, so we spent $1,000 in
10,
a month and a half, basically.
10% of it.
Yeah,
What it's gonna
yeah.
cost.
yeah.
If they put
Already.
in a low bid, of course, that was 3 years ago. Why don't we just have them re-update your bid and put us on the schedule, give us a price? But that was 3 years ago. Can we do that?
No, I think we still have to because it's over that monetary amount. We've got to get 2 other bids.
Yeah, over 20,000.
Any way of finding out?
No,
who
I
the
think
other
it's
people
over,
are
I
being
forget what the recommendation from the
5,000.
5,000.
5,000, okay.
So
Anyway.
why don't we just proceed, Chief? You're at the helm. You want to just get 3 bids, and if you get, and it looks like we can move, we can couple that with a special board meeting and do it Zoom or something and just, you know, give you direction to spend it.
Yeah, we'll get some numbers for it and I'll get back to you.
Okay, thank you, Chief.
Make sure we have money.
Well, it's stuff like that that we just need to get out in front of. I mean, I was there the night when I came down and it was pretty disgusting. I don't want anybody to go through that.
Yeah.
So, anyway. So now you guys are all aware of it and there's no big surprises was my goal.
We're just surprised it didn't get taken care of. Years
Yeah,
ago,
I can't
right?
believe it.
Right.
Yeah, I remember it talked about.
Doing this remodel.
Yeah, yeah.
We got these really fancy grease boards though, John. Anyway, never mind.
All right, so moving along, public comments. Chief Lashbrook, could you see if there's anybody in the,
Nope, I don't see anybody in chat, I see nobody with their hands raised.
okay, give it a couple minutes. Not, then we will move on. Board comments, any additional comments?
I happened to be in the station this morning, talking with Chief Ashbrook, and they had that call for brush fire. And that engine was out right away, and in 10 minutes or less, probably 5 minutes, we had 5 more people here ready to grab the next engine.
Wow.
Very nice.
So I was very grateful for that, and it just reminds me of the times of the 80s and 90s. You know,
Been years since we've seen that.
you bet. I'm pretty proud of that. So the career guys had that engine going down the road, the chief was leading.
Yeah,
5
you're-
more guys are ready to go.
Years ago, we'd fight to get on a rig.
Yeah, that's right.
Get out of here. I've been here longer. I'm going.
Yeah. All right, yeah. That's all I have. Thank you.
You betcha. All right, so any other board comments? Chief O'Connor, any last minute thoughts?
Stay away from COVID.
Sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah,
About a year and a half ago, I remember that 7 days, never got out of my pajamas, never got out of the sun.
Oh, well,
well, I hope you and your family feel better.
Yeah,
yeah. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah, thanks. No, I'm hoping I'm back in on Monday.
Okay. Cool. All right, the next meeting will be, there could be another. If it is, we'll publish it. But the next regular meeting is Thursday, September 16th at 7 PM. And we'll also make sure that's available Zoom for people in the public. No further thoughts, concerns from directors? All right,
don't forget your new.
Yeah.
building.
this meeting's adjourned.
Thank you.